Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I appreciate your patience. I appreciate each and every one of your patience. That's a little late coming in. Um, I guess the only thing I can say is shit happens, right? Um, hey, Patty, you're number one in here tonight, girl. All right. Hello, PT and chat. Much love, prayers. Absolutely. God bless. And Deputy Sheriff, all right, number two. He said, howdy, everybody. Howdy to you. God bless. Much love. Yeah, Patty said, number one. Yay. All right. God bless, girl. Absolutely. Oh, Miss Justice, number three. There you go, girl. I knew you was going to get in there. I knew it. Much love to you and prayers. Hey, much love to you and yours. Prayers too. God bless. And let's see, Robin, number four. There we go. Hey, PG and chat. Hey, hey, hey to you, girlfriend. God bless. Good to see you. Let's get down through here. Hey, Legendary. I see you, girl. There you are. Aw, she always puts that. I love it. I love it. Oh, hello, Deputy Sheriff. Good to see you, my friend. Hey, Janet. Said PG, much love to you. Miss Justice, much love. Hey, Lisa, how you doing, sweetie? Let me see. Crazy tired lady, how are you tonight, sweetie? Good evening, all. Good evening to you. Hey, Danny, how you doing? She says he's away. It's curious hell, right? Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Janet. God bless. Remember to hit that thumbs up. Absolutely. Hey, Angel Girl, how you doing? Oh, Lisa, how you doing, sweetie? She says, hey, PG, much love. Beautiful lady. I think I pulled that up. My mind, you guys gotta excuse me because my mind's in two or three places right now. Bridget, how you doing, sweetie? PG goes through a lot. I go through a lot, you guys. You don't even know. Right? I need my brownies. Hey Carla, how you doing, sweetie? I'm trying to get as many people as I get. My fragile little mind. I love that. I love that. Granny's house. How you doing, girlfriend? Good to see you. She said PTOA, PTOA. Amen. Hey Beth Ann, good to see you in here tonight, girlfriend. Good to see you. Oh, that's beautiful. Love and prayers. Absolutely. Hey Lynn, how you doing? I'm getting down through here. I'm trying not to mess nobody. Hey Linda, how you doing, sweetie? Good to see you too. Hey Pam, I see you, girl. You wasn't hiding from me. I heard a clam power. Oh shit. That is funny. Hey Australia, how you doing tonight? Good to see you. I'm trying to get to the bottom here. I still got a ways to go, you guys. I still got a ways to go. I'm just trying to. Hey, Angel on Earth. I hate to miss anybody. I don't like to miss someone. Jolly Life, how you doing? Iowa, how you doing, sweetie? Good to see you guys. Has it started? Yeah, it has now. Let me see. Hey Teresa, how you doing? Echo, how you doing? Hey Brenda, how you doing tonight, sweetie? Wonder Woman, good to see you. Oh, that is beautiful. Georgia Wild Child, how you doing tonight, sweetie? Robin, good to see you. Oh, Jane says hello everyone this evening from me. No summer, no peace. Amen. Susan said hello everyone. Hello, hello, hello to you, sweetie. Leslie, Catherine, let's see. Coupon Mama, how you doing, sweetie? Good to see you. Chicken Banana, hello everyone. Um, I got somebody down here. Hold on, let me see. Hold on, Pam. I'll bring you up here in a minute. Give me just 1 minute and I'll bring you up, girl. Hey, Tara, how you doing? Parker, good to see you. Carla says, see what you caused. And Susan said she is not a caretaker for Fred. They're having a good time, right? No, this was another old man. All right, girlfriend, I heard that. Drive careful. Are you for real? Hey, girl, how you doing? All right, I'm at the bottom. We finally got to the bottom, you guys. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that we're down at the bottom. We can start things now. Much love to everybody. I'm driving. I will get online and tell you all much love, Janet. Yeah, Mama PG and stepdad. Just our bucket list of just our bucket list as has holes. Um, love you all. Oh, girl, God bless. Um, hey, Cindy, how you doing, sweetie? Good to see you. Minnie Pearl, here you are. All right. No. Um, I wasn't talking about Fred. I wasn't talking about Fred, you guys. I know she's with Supposably. She's up on the hill right now, and that's the truth. She's up on Ben Hill Road. Ain't you, Candus? Right, right, Dawn. Oh, do you guys want me to do tell? Because I will do tell. If you guys want me to do tell real quick, because there is like some stuff to be do telling. Yes, I'm going to tell you. Like this is big about the old man in the cabin. Actually, it's scary, but there was some more to tell too. Oh yeah. Then I'm going to people saying do tell PG. I'm going to do tell. Did you guys hear White Boy? Did you all hear White Boy? Oh my. It's like OMG. He was on there like so hurt. I mean, he was like, Candus is the reason Dawn got me off the hill and all this stuff. Like, he's like, she's the whole reason that Don don't want to talk to me now. I'm not going to take down the lie that she wants me to take down. And then he's like so butthurt that Don ain't talking to him and stuff, right? And then he starts talking about, having, like abnormal stuff, abnormal, ways of doing things. I'm like, whoa, what the hell's going on here? Like, yeah. And like he is, and then he was like, said that Cher, he showed the picture that, that Don and Candus stole off of Cher's. I mean, she could have sent it to him. I don't know, but I think they might have got it off of her, her Facebook. I'm not sure how they got it. I don't really care. But anyway, he was showing it, and he's like, actually said, this looks like me when I was a 12-year-old boy without the tattoos. I'm like, what? Hell no. Like, I got the impression that, he was kind of like trying to turn Donald on, with Cher's picture, telling Don that, that was like his backside when he was 12. I'm like, what? You gotta be kidding me. Hell no. That old saggy muffin, what is he talking about? He don't even he don't have nothing in the front and nothing in the back. Trust me, he tried to show me and I didn't see nothing. Like, I'm gonna tell you, Casper the Friendly Ghost probably got more than he does, and I didn't see nothing on Casper either. Right? Just saying. Yeah. So, that's what I would be seeing. But nope. Whatever. I'm like, this dude, listen. He's like, with white boy, there's no parental guidance needed. Like, no parental guidance at all. He ain't got nothing to see. Right? He ain't got shit to see. Straight up. He was trying to show it. I couldn't see it. I'm not blind. If it was there, I know I would have saw it, but it was like, I don't know where it was, but, I'm talking, I didn't even see a Tic Tac baby. I didn't even see a Tic Tac. Nothing. Just saying. So I'm not even, I don't know. All I could say is his old lady, his old lady must have married the muffin man because he sure in the hell ain't no candlestick maker. Right? He is no candlestick maker. I didn't see nothing. I don't know if it done a lickety split somewhere because, Candus was around or he was thinking about her. Or, hell, I don't know. Actually, I think it was after they were up there. Maybe Candus stole it and that's why he's so upset with her. I don't know. I mean, one day he was smooching all up on that stench and the next day he's all upset with it. Maybe they're having side effects from eating out of the, maybe they're having some side effects from eating out of the freaking Pepe Le Pew bowl, right? The skunk bowl. Remember she's feeding skunks? and then I'm sure they don't buy, they don't strike me as the type to go buy new pots and pans, right? So I'm sure they took them back in the house, scrubbed them up, and maybe they didn't even scrub them. Maybe they just took them back in and cooked some dinner up for White Boy and his old lady. I'm not for sure, but, wow. Maybe they're having side effects from that. I don't know. They're upset because of some reason. Something got them upset, right? And He's like, you know, I want to talk to my Donnie. I need to talk to my Donnie. That effing PG wanted my Donnie. I'm like, no. First he says PG, first he says Donnie's going to move in with PG. Then he's like, no, PG's broke. She's going to move in with Donnie. Let me tell you something. Hell to the no-no. Hell to the no-no. Absolutely not. You got me bent, white boy. I'll tell you that right now. All I got to tell you is, dude, I am not at your scumbucket level. I am not at your scumbucket level. I'm not on the low, unless I go to Kroger's, and then it's like, then I'd be like on the low. I'd be doing the low. Oh, the low. Give me the low prices, right? Then I'd be on the low. But mother freaker ain't on no low. Let me tell you that right now. Dom Wells, man, I'm going to tell you what, I wouldn't be nothing but that motherfucker's dream that he's had all of his life. That's what I would be. I'd be Dom Wells' dream. He's like, have a little dream with me. Oh, yeah. He'd be dreaming, man. He'd wish he had some PG, right? But all he's getting is fucking white boy. Great big ears, bald head, nothing downstairs. I've seen it, right? That's what he'd be getting. He'd be getting nothing. He'd be getting nothing. And then, and Cher, whoa, I'm going to tell you. I just, but Cher's better looking than white boy. I got to say that. She better looking than white boy. Right? Even if she does kind of look like a dude in the face and all freaky and shit. But she still better look at a white boy. And then white boys all mad at her too. And, that's probably why he doesn't ever talk about Summer. He doesn't ever talk about Summer because Summer was once upon a time where white boy wished he was in the middle of Don and Candus. Right? He would love to be there. I know it. He'd be talking about some wild stuff. I mean, hey, Donnie, please come talk to me. I haven't done that kind of thing in a while. I don't do it very often, but I'll do it for you. I'm like, whoa. Yeah. Oh, shit. You guys can tell him PG's goody good is real good. Right? I got some of that real good. I'm putting it to the test too. But yeah, that was, like, what the freak? That was weird. But, I know white boy likes to slip in and watch PG, and his old lady likes to slip in and watch PG from the bushes like Day and them do. And white boy, won't you keep my name out your face? I would. You know what? I don't want to talk to Donnie. I don't want to talk to your Donald. I don't want to see your Donald. I don't want nothing to do with your Donald. Nothing, right? Absolutely, positively nothing. Listen, white boy. He rolled your ass off the hill, not mine. Let's see. Cam and Allie. Roll. Keep that thing a-rolling. Roll your boat gently off the hill. Yeah, that's your song, white boy. Roll, roll, roll your boat gently off the hill. Oh, oh shit. I just, man, did you, did you, did you duck, tuck, and roll, or did you just roll? Inquiring minds want to know. Inquiring minds want to know, white boy. Oh, you cracked me the fuck up. But yeah, he was talking about some real sick stuff. Um, if you want to go back to it, I think it was like an hour and 30 some minutes. I think he was really getting into the he was using me and Cher and other people to reflect on what he wanted. Right? I don't like people reflecting on me. It cracked me up. I'm going to tell you what, white boy. Don Wells ever got a woman like PG, he'd be hitting the fucking lottery. And you know, and you know what the odds of that shit is. Yeah, that's the odds for Don Wells too. Right? That's the same odds right there. You gotta be kidding me. I'm gonna tell you something. I got a list, and most women like myself have a list. Most women that think anything of themselves, you know, you might be one of them people, white boy, that has to be like, who will have me? Right? I say, who will I have? Right? That's the difference between me and you. You are a who will have you, and I am a who will I have. That's the difference right there. That's a big fucking difference, baby. A big one. But then again, I busted my ass. I worked for everything I got. And you know what? I'm not about to bring some loser in and lose it. You got me bent. I wouldn't have those evil bastards anywhere near me, let alone my children or the rest of my family. Are you got me bent. You know, you might be brainless, buddy, but I'm not. I'm not. I'm motherfucking brilliant. I didn't get all that education for nothing. I got it to use it. You might want to go get some too. Sounds like you need it. Sitting around busy kissing Don Wells' ass. That's disgusting. Ugh. Mother freaking. I mean, that's just a scary thought. Scary thought. But anyway, that's one of the things going on out there, right? That was hideous to have to watch, you know. And yeah, you know, I was like, some of the stuff he said, I was like, what? Yeah, it was cray cray. I'm like, whoa. And I don't know how this old lady, you know, shows her face after he said he done the things to her that he, you know, talking about what he's doing to her. Man, that's an abomination in the sight of God. You don't be doing that kind of stuff. That's whoa. That's just not right. But anyway, I'm gonna tell you, you ain't supposed to be entering through the exit. Right? Common sense tells you if there's an exit, don't be entering. That's it. Whoa, man, they was letting out some dirty, dark secrets that I didn't want to know about. You know, it was fucking up my fragile little mind. But hey, you know, that's part of being out here, I guess. Yeah, put a one in the chat if you heard him saying that disgusting stuff. Put a one in the chat if you heard him talking about that stuff. I'm like, what? I mean, dude, you know, we don't want to know this stuff, right? We don't want to know it. Don't offend my ears. What the hell? And then don't come in, don't come into my mother freaking you know, backstage and offend my eyes when you ain't showing me nothing, right? You ain't got nothing to show. I'm like, whoa, what is that? What is it? I mean, that's very fucking disturbing. That's very disturbing. I mean, mother freaker looked like an alien down there, right? Like E.T. go home. Right? E.T. go home. Oh, we don't fucking know. It was weird. It was some weird shit. Just saying. I don't think they dug. No, I don't think they dug down beside it. I think that they put her in before he went in. See, he wasn't buried till the 18th, Dorothy. He was, if you're talking about Timothy Morrison, he was buried on he died. He died on, I believe it was the 10th or the 11th. And, um, and then he was buried on the 18th. So they usually dig the grave early. So the grave was already dug. The grave was probably dug on the morning of the 15th. And that's why Andy sent a message to Candus's phone, it's done. They probably dug the grave that morning. And Candus was coming back in to Ben Hill Road, that's why she took the video so they could claim abduction. That's really why they took the video. That video was a stagery. And, everything about Summer's case is a stagery. Don firing his coworker, driving the Subaru because it had Starlink, and firing his coworker on the 14th to blame it on come the 15th. It's all stagery. And Candus using Grandma's knee to go into Kingsport to pick up Hunter, who was already up and waiting to be picked up. This was all stagery. And even the picture, the quick video, if you noticed that video, she turns the camera and right back. Like it was like, didn't hold it on Summer. She just like turned it that way and then straight back at Candus. And Candus is like, oh, does she still got her arms up? No. I mean, it was like super quick so that, you really couldn't, get a lot of observation from it other than the child was there and, looking unalived. And I'm sure they know that there's no way the arm could have been up over the head because it's, actually pinned in by the bottom. I think if I was law enforcement in Tennessee, I think I could have had enough evidence on Don and Candus to prosecute the fucking hell out of them. And I bet you I would have won. I bet you 10-1 they could bring a jury in and I would have won. Their asses would have been in prison right now. I could have used everything, all the evidence that, we've been able to collect. I could have used it and put both of them fucks in jail. Trust and believe me. Just let the jury, make up their own minds. But I think when the jury saw all the bluing all on the sides of this child's head, and they saw the lipstick smeared below her lip, And, and they heard Hunter saying she was wet on a pillow against the driver's side door. When they heard that, that she wasn't seen at Walgreens, she was not seen moving around at Sonic's, and she wasn't seen moving around at the store. That no one, no one was, no cameras or anything was able to physically see her inside the vehicle with movement. I pretty much think that, that show, what Hunter saying she was wet on the pillow shows that they did not put her in the dry clothes. Wherever she was put into the dry clothes, makeup was applied to her face because of the smeared lipstick. So, I think that I could have proved without a shadow of a doubt that this was a premeditated, planned up, and carried out situation between these people. And I bet you I could have gotten a prosecution. Now, why they're not doing it, I don't know. But, you don't need the body. You just need, pretty much circumstantial evidence. And I think they got more than enough of that to prosecute. That's, that's my opinion. But I don't know, hon. I don't know. Hey, Molly. Good to see you in here, girl. Good to see you. Okay, Pam, I'm bringing you up. You can shut the, yeah. What's up, Pam?
Hey, what's up?
Not much.
Okay, I got a couple things. One, I got a joke.
Okay.
What gets long when you jerk it, fits between boobs, slides in a hole, and loves to be pulled? A seatbelt, you pervert.
I was kind of thinking, I was kind of thinking of silly putty or maybe, some type of lock. I wasn't, my mind didn't go there, but okay, since you, Wow. Yeah, Pam is a mess. All right. She calling us names before we even get to guess, right? She don't know what was on our minds, but we know what was on hers. Right?
The dollar store.
Anyway, I wanted to let you guys know that about a year ago. Now, I didn't know this. You guys didn't know this, but I think we all have a right to know. Can was a caretaker for an old man inside of a cabin somewhere. She was being a caretaker for an old guy inside of a cabin someplace. Now, who was this old man? Who was he? I don't know. Now, I was told that it is true. I have an eyewitness that, that said that, yes, they seen him. They were, FaceTiming with Can. And she actually opened the camera. She showed this man sitting in a chair, watching TV. She was complaining about how loud he watched the TV, and that could be a problem for him if he's doing stuff she don't like. And anyway, they didn't know who he is, but they could tell, that it was a log cabin. They talked to her. She was there like many times. She was there. with this old man. Um, and they don't know, as fast as she showed up there and started supposedly being this caretaker, as fast as it started, it quit. And they don't know what happened to the old man, where the old man, they don't know where the cabin is, who the old man was. Candus did not say anything about, she didn't tell anything about this particular job she's supposed to have been having. So they're in the dark. Everybody's in the dark. But we have to remember the cabin, right? We have to remember the cabin that Dawn and her like to talk about. Her and Don Wells talked quite a bit about some type of cabin. Feet print being by a cabin. Supposedly someone, supposed to have been seen with a child, a little girl at a cabin, all kinds of stuff about it. He's supposed to have been working on a cabin that somewhere fell off the stairs of. There's been a lot of cabin talk. And yet here she is in a cabin with this super old man portraying or saying she's a caretaker of, which, with her criminal record, she's got a criminal record as long as her arm. She's not allowed to be a caretaker to nobody. You can't have a criminal record and be a caretaker to anyone. That's like a hell no. That's a no-no. You can't work in a school. You can't work in a nursery. You can't work, in home health care. With her record, you can't do none of that. So who was he? And who in the hell was, insane enough to leave an old man along with her as a caretaker? I don't know. Some people
I wouldn't have left my dog with her.
Right? Some people are thinking that it was Dee Dee's dad. Some people are thinking that it was Dee Dee's dad that she was in the cabin of. Some people are thinking because he's passed away now. Yeah, he's dead too. And he would have been an heir. He would have been an heir to Dee Dee's property and everything. So did she act like she's going to help out with the dad? And he passed away first. And then now Dee Dee's passed away. And Dee Dee don't have no children. She had no children. She would have been a good mom, I heard. She'd have been an awesome mother. But she didn't have no kids of her own. So is they like, tying up loose ends before, they decided to get Dee Dee? I don't know. But it's quite strange that, about a year ago, she's in this old man's cabin and, and some people thinking it's Dee Dee's dad, which is now dead. And then now Dee Dee's dead, and there's no heirs left, to contest anything. And they were really trying, Dee Dee wasn't even cold, that they were already trying to get, a death certificate in order to transfer everything into their names. I don't know. But, I appreciate, the person who reached out to me. They want to stay anonymous, but I very much appreciate them for reaching out to me and letting me, giving me the insight on, this particular old person that, that she was seen supposedly, saying she was a caretaker of. Yeah, I'm going to tell you, this is really getting wild, right? This case would make a hell of a Lifetime movie. It's getting right now fucking scary, to be honest with you, right? Put a one in the chat if you think this is kind of getting freaking airy and scary. I mean, this is really, you know, look at all these people ending up dead at the hand, that's been at the hands of these people. You got three people unalived. That was at the hands, at the hands of Hunter. He was there with all three when, they're passing. You have, you know, three now at the hands of Candus, you know, possibly three. If the old man was Dee Dee's dad, we got three at the hands of her, right? That she was around when during the passings. You know, we've got Summer, this old man, and Dee Dee. With Hunter, we got Summer and Leslie and Allison. I mean, wow, that's 6 people. Well, actually, 5. Right? Actually, 5.
Remember, she had that cleaning job, right?
Well, I wondered if she had met that old man during that cleaning business as well. Now, I don't know. Right now, I'm in the process of researching to find out when Dee Dee's dad passed away. I'm trying to find out who he was and when, if he passed away about a year back, then it was him. It's going to be no doubt in my mind it was him. It would have definitely
Dee Dee owned 2 houses.
3. She owned 3 houses.
She owned 3 houses?
She owned a house she lived in. She owned another house over in Tennessee, and then she owned another residence as well as that. She owned 3 properties. Yeah, maybe I think one of them might have just been a big sheet of land, but I hear she owned 3 properties, 2 houses for sure, and I don't know if the other one was a home with property or just a big sheet of property, but she was very well off. She definitely knew how to manage her finances and her business side of life. And I understood, she worked and worked hard for what she got. And like all them fishing poles and all that tackle boxes may not have been Fred's. Those could have all been Dee Dee's dad's. That could have been Dee Dee's grandpa's and dad's fishing poles and stuff. And, Candus ain't very intelligent, and neither is Fred, because some of those really old fishing poles are worth a lot of money. Like, they're worth tons of money. You can't, if they're in good shape and so forth and so on. Just the reel on them is worth quite a bit of money if they're made at were made at a certain time, certain dates, and certain brands. I mean, we're talking up in the thousands, right? Maybe more, depending what it is. But some of those fishing poles and stuff are fetch a pretty penny in the market, and they probably didn't even know what they had, and was giving it away for pennies.
Could Don and Candus be on this? I mean, and I'm just asking, along with the chat, somebody in the chat.
Yeah, Debbie.
Could Don and Candus be onto this? I mean, could Candus and Don be doing this together?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Just to get what?
Well,
Is Candus still driving Dee Dee's car?
It's my. I don't know if she's got Dee Dee's car or not. Um, I know that she's up on the hill. I know that she's at 110. I don't know. I don't know what Dee Dee drives, so I can't say Dee Dee's car's up there or not. Um, but I know Candus is.
Who in the who in the right mind would let Candus or Don, and Don said it before though, he wouldn't eat Candus's cooking. Um, but who in the right mind would even let Don and Candus on their property?
What?
Huh?
What did you say?
Why would anybody let them on their property in their house chatting like it? No. I mean,
Well, I think here's what I believe. I believe that, I believe that Dee Dee, I believe that Dee Dee went up there and started hanging out with Can Can. And I think that Dee Dee was in really good shape and was having probably no issues or complications at all. And she started, she started bringing Can Can to her house like Day Day did. Only difference is Day Day has a whole lot of family around, and and Day Day's a little, you know, Day Day's Day Day's a mean girl herself, right? She's just as evil as Dawn and Candace, I mean, she's just as wise in the field of evilness as Dawn and Candace is. Maybe even more. Maybe more. She's very cunning too, but and crafty. She's a crafty, evil old bitch. Um, so she knows to watch. She knows to keep an eye on people like, Can Can, where her grandson's concerned, where her husband, where the people around her are concerned. Day Day's going to keep her eye peeled on that shit, right? And Dee Dee, wasn't the wiser. Dee Dee was one of those, you know, um, Dee Dee was one of those people, who she kind of, she wanted to believe all things and trust in all things and care about all things and see the best in all things. And, she was just one of those trusting, kind, she obviously didn't ever meet up with that type of evilness in her life, which most of us don't. Most of us don't,
could
you know.
Candace have said something to Dee Dee, and then all of a sudden she felt like Dee Dee was going to tell somebody, so that's why she had to do whatever she did, or if she did, she didn't call 911. I mean, you didn't try to get her help. And the only
She didn't.
problem that I knew that that I've
Listen,
heard she had was
listen,
she had her gallbladder removed.
Pam. Here's the thing. If you listen to Candace will, she's like listening to Hunter. They tell on themselves and then they all of a sudden say they wasn't there and there's nothing to tell. They renege on it because that's how evil works in today's world.
Exactly.
But the thing is Candace didn't get her own 3-year-old daughter help when she took her to Alice's
No,
house and and made her write out something that she may not have wrote out. Thank God she did. And she got a couple more years to be in this world, with these evil bastards. but she at least got a couple more years to know that there's good people in this world too, like Robin and other people around her. You know, she she got a Summer got a taste of life life outside of them evil human beings, and that, and that was a good thing. That was a good thing, you know, because I think Summer needed to know that goodness existed. Everything wasn't evil, and and one day she would be able to live in that world of goodness too. And I think she was looking forward to it, but she got took out too soon. Um,
Elegant Grace said, did she drink alcohol? I don't think so.
you know what? I didn't know Dee Dee that well. I didn't know her that
I've
well,
never heard of them saying she drank.
but I can tell you that I truly believe, you know, I truly believe she was fine when Candace first got around her. And then somehow, after her and that Fred went up to Ben Hill Road and put the bench in for Summer and everything, and they were up there, you know,
Yeah, they put the bench in.
well, and they were the ones digging the holes and planting the flowers, and Candace just stood there, right, letting them do all the damn work. So I'm sure there wasn't nothing wrong with that Dee Dee or her husband.
Laid the cement and all that.
Right. But then once, you know, Candace started getting around them, Dee Dee started ending up in the hospital. And she started having some health issues. And then when Candace moved into their home, she really started to have some health issues, to the point, I think the day that she called her husband, the day that she actually passed away, I think she knew. I think she honestly knew that, that she had been beguiled, and she had been, dosed up with something. Um, but I think she thought, she would get to a hospital and everything would be okay. But I think that was a fatal dose that took her out. And I think that's why, Candace and that man didn't call. They didn't call 911. They didn't call anybody. I think they waited. I think they waited, um, to give, because some stuff, gets out of the system really quick. And I think they waited, a while before even alerting anyone that she was passed away. I also think that, you know, um, they didn't want, I think the little hospital here and little hospital there was, their way of working up to the big dose that took her out, so that when she did get took out, the doctors ain't really going to overly look for foul play. And I did take note that they cremated her on the 11th. Actually, she was cremated before Candace even told anyone she was dead. And then they're talking about, some type of, Dom Wells, I guess, is lying and telling White Boy about they're waiting on the second autopsy to come through. And what second? There is no second autopsy. This woman has already been cremated. She was cremated on the 11th of September. You can't do a fucking autopsy on ashes, okay? There's no autopsies on ashes. This lady is gone. And they made sure they disintegrated all the evidence.
Because they're street smart.
And well, if you took note, they disintegrated. They disintegrated Leslie. They disintegrated Allison. They disintegrated this woman. What the fuck's going on here? These people seem to, to disintegrate all the fucking evidence, right? That's just it.
Did Fred get the cremated, or did Fred get it, or did Candace get some of them too?
What are you talking about, the ashes?
Yeah.
I heard they didn't even pick them up. I don't know how true it is, but I heard they didn't even pick the ashes up. That's what I heard.
That's I wouldn't have. I mean, Candace, and there's so many people. You got Cotton. You got the Taylor guy in the ditch. You've got that one guy that Don worked for that died. You've got all these people. You got Brianna Tester that was friends with Candace.
You got to ask yourself, how is he going to pick up her ashes when he's busy trying to pick up the death certificate so he can get everything in his name, right? He's more worried about that death certificate than he is his wife's ashes. And I'm going to tell you, that's the way some men are. That's the way some men are. I'm sure Can ain't Fred's first fling on Dee Dee. If he'll have a fling with Can before his wife ever ended up like this, then he's probably had many flings on her before, or at least wanted to. And he just wasn't a true and faithful man. And
Dee Dee was so much for Summer that she put like the stickers at the back of your car. She had one I heard that said the TBI number, and then one was a picture that was on the back bumper, back window, something like that, on the back of her car. She was all about finding Summer.
Right.
But why wasn't Candace? Candace says she hasn't talked about, she doesn't want to talk. She doesn't want to give answers. She doesn't feel like she has to give them.
I'm going to tell you something, Pam. I love my kids. I love my children. And if something happened, if my kids got into something legal or illegal when they were 3 years old, I don't care if it was legal or illegal. I'm going to take them to a hospital where they need to be, regardless of the consequences. I'm going to take my child to a hospital and I'm going to get it treatment because I love my child. I love my child, and all that matters to me is my child be okay.
But Summer never had a chance up there.
I as I said, shit happens. Accidents happen. And I'm going to tell you right now, it doesn't matter. If I had something illegal laying around that my child shouldn't have got into but did, for some reason, I'm going to that hospital and I'm going to suffer the consequences to save my child's life. I'm not taking it to a friend's house. I'm not taking it in. I'm taking it straight to a hospital where they know what the fuck to do to save my baby. I shouldn't have been stupid enough to leave anything around for my child to get into in the first place. But since I got to deal with that, right?
We only heard one dispatch call, and that was the one that Dawn made the call.
I'm talking about when this kid was 3, not when she was 5 and disappeared. Oh. Now, Candus didn't give a shit about her daughter at 3 years old enough to take it to a hospital, then she ain't going to give a shit about her daughter when she, on June the 15th, when she went and did what it took to destroy her child at that swimming hole. And that's what I truly believe happened. I truly believe that she went to that swimming hole and had Hunter go out there and destroy that little girl because something was wrong that they didn't want to go to prison over in order to fix it. Now, that's my opinion. I 10 to 1, I'm right.
Everybody's got the right for their opinion. But
And
see, the only thing is, she says, oh, wait, everybody's going to have to apologize. Apologize for what? All we're doing is watching you.
Right.
We're going by what? Everything you said. So why should we? I ain't got an apology for her. Right. She let her daughter. The girls Can's had 7 kids and ain't got none of them. Right. Where is she, Candus? Why don't you put her to rest like a safe place? A good place.
Right.
A proper place. Candus, I know you're watching in the bushes. Remember, if you go out in the woods and you find Summer, you'd have to scoop her up and you'd mess up a crime scene. Why didn't she put that phrase together when she told Ernie, give me 2 days and I'll tell you everything that happened? Okay, Candus, the 2 days has never happened. Where's it? Tell us what happened.
No wonder people in that area don't talk. Exactly. Except for A.B. and Jody Sue Brown. Yeah. And these people are shady. These people are very evil. They're very shady. Absolutely.
What are we supposed to think? That Summer just disappeared?
This is Candus. This is Candus. She went into Andrew's chat. She says, hello, everyone. And they're talking about Dee Dee. While she's in there, people are asking questions, upon the topic of Dee Dee. And this is some of the stuff that Candus was in there saying during this time. I didn't watch nothing off it, but heard a lot about it. And the funny part is I slept with no one. She's saying the funny part is I slept with no one. Right? I don't think any of it's funny at all. There ain't nothing funny about none of this. None of this. But she's finding it funny. Right? She's finding it funny. And I'm going to tell you something. She was sleeping with somebody. Because I'm going to tell you something about men. Men ain't going to let you sit out there in a yard sale and sell all of their dead wife's stuff. And, if you ain't doing something. A man ain't going to let you come in his house and eat his wife's mother freaking food, right? A big pan of lasagna. Made after the woman's passed away. Candus has taken liberties in this woman's kitchen to cook her fat self a bunch of food and slob it down, right? She's in this woman's kitchen, slobbing down her food, making sure that she gets her nutrients to keep fucking living and breathing, right? And her big ass. But this woman's dead. And her and this man's keeping it a big fucking secret. While Candus is living all over this woman's house. Cooking in her kitchen. Selling all of her stuff. Calling Day up. Asking, do you want her pocketbooks and all of this and that. Was that her stuff that Day was selling? Was that her pocketbooks and things that Day Day was selling? I don't know. I don't know. I just find it funny that Candus was offering Day Day a bunch of pocketbooks and all the stuff of Dee Dee's, and then Day Day was sitting there selling a bunch of pocketbooks and stuff. So I have no idea. Now I know she passed away on September the 3rd. I know she was cremated on September the 11th.
And nobody found out to it till the end of September. Because somebody, I'm not saying no names, but somebody was going to buy a dragon and wanted some information. Because Dee Dee had a dragon. A bearded dragon. But she was wanting information about it. And Candus was talking to everybody just like it was nothing, like it was a great day.
I'm going to tell you something. That Fred guy must not give much of a shit about his wife, or he couldn't have parted with her stuff. He couldn't have let one thing. He would have told Candus, my wife's dead. You've got to leave. You're going to have to call your husband, have him come pick you up, or you're going to have to, figure out how to get back to Ben Hill Road. I can't do this. Nobody, that man should have been in a grieving process. He should have been door shut at the hospital, trying to figure out what happened, at the coroner's office, trying to figure out what happened. He should have been making arrangements for his wife. He should have been, worried. He should have been worried. He should have been hurt. He should have been crying. He should have been, experiencing all the pain and the drain that comes with losing someone you truly love. But he wasn't doing that.
Candus started, look at Summer stuff. Summer stuff got sold after Summer went missing.
They came and they took this woman away. And instead of going to the hospital where they took this woman, Candus and this Fred guy's going to the place where to see how soon they can get a death certificate. They're only worried about a death certificate. Nothing else. And that's a big red flag. That's big red flags right there. Candus is out there selling all of this woman's stuff, and this man is okay with it. She's in there cooking food and hanging around with this man, playing music, happy as she can be. And this woman's gone, and this man's going right along with it. So I'm going to tell you.
Is Candus's GoFundMe still up like when she started it and said, I'm going to start a new life? Help me out if you can.
I'm going to tell you, what I think, Pam. I'm going to tell you what I think. I think that Don Wells is an evil bastard. I think Don Wells doesn't care who he loans Candus out to, or Summer out to, or possibly his boys out to, and other people's children out to. I don't think Don Wells cares about, anybody's well-being or health, or, he's not out to protect no one, but his damn self. And, he's just as sick and evil as, the people that he's allowing to do stuff to these people, to these, his children and his so-called wife and probably mother-in-law too. And, he's a very sick-minded human being, if you ask me.
They're both evil.
You know, I think that you know, I believe that you know they're super sick, as in you know messing with children, animals, whatever, um, type human beings. You know, they have no boundaries. They have no, you know, most people, normal human beings have boundaries. You know, normal human beings do not do, you know, they don't do certain things. You know, they don't go onto the evil side. Normal humans, for one, have nothing to do with animals. Normal people do not, you know, let people have, you know, normal people don't share their husband. They don't share their children. They don't share anything, um, you know, in that way. You know, like you would a pack of cigarettes or a bottle of pop, you know. You don't mother freaking share certain things, and normal people don't, you know. Normal people don't talk about, you know, what they do, you know, their personal life. They don't talk about, you know, things that should not be talked about, like what happens in their bedroom. You don't talk about that shit. That ain't for other people to know. That's your private life. Keep it private. I don't fucking want to hear it, and I sure in the hell ain't going to share my private life with anyone either. You know, people today just don't know when to shut the fuck up. They don't know what to share and what not to share. You know, they're just nasty and disgusting, and they just don't have no boundaries. You know, um, when it comes to certain things that you should not be talking about. You know, and then they wonder why this world is going in the direction it's going, straight to hell. They wonder, but you know, that's why. Because you know, if you want a good world, you got to have morals. You got to have kindness, love, caring, respect. You got to have all of these things. You know, it all starts with you. You have to be trustworthy in order to ask other people to be trustworthy. You have to be kind, caring, and loving to ask other people to be. You know, it starts with you not doing sick stuff, and you know, trusting others not to be doing it as well, and other people shouldn't be. You know, and that's what makes a good world. But in this world today, there's very few, you know, humans that are trustworthy. And, you know, there's very few humans with morals, respect, kindness, love, caring. I mean, there's like a handful of us left. There's a handful of us left. I would say 90% of the world is evil as fuck. If you're part of the 10%, you are lucky because it's about to go down to 5%. And if you're part of that 5%, you're going to be even luckier. I'm going to tell you, there's going to be a lot more, there's going to be a lot more names in hell than is in the book of life. That's what I believe.
Candus is going to be, Candus is one of them that's got to have a man by her side and someone she has a control issue. And then Don's got the same thing. He's got a control issue. They're toxic no matter what. They could go together, be
Oh,
together, and
when
then
Candace,
totally blow up.
when,
But they've lost 7 kids and they don't care.
when Candace heard that, that Karen, I think it was Karen, Fred's sister, was up
Mm-hmm.
on that hill, or else it was a social worker. I don't know. She was dressed
Supposed to
really
be
nice.
Karen, Fred's sister.
She was dressed really nice. Now, I'm going to describe the lady for you. Dressed very nice. Looked looked really nice. She looked really nice. She was driving a vehicle that was very nice. I don't know who she was, but she was up there. She was up
They
there.
said Fred's
Once,
sister's all I heard, but I don't
once,
know.
once Candus heard about this woman, she took her ass right back. She made sure that she did everything she could to get back to Ben Hill Road. She made sure and her ass is there now. Her ass is there now. So I don't know. If she says that she is with Fred, she's a liar. She is not at Dee Dee's place. She is not with Fred right now.
What happened to Mr. Rapp that she was hanging around too? What happened to Mr. Rappy Boy?
I'm going to be honest with you. I like rap. I like rap. I mean, I know a lot of people don't, but I happen to like him. He hasn't ever done anything to me or anyone here in this
No,
chat.
I'm just saying that's who she was supposed to be with. So I don't know. I'm just asking.
I understand.
I don't know him, and
I understand that she got with him, reached out, was talking with him, and got with him for a minute. And I understood that he supposedly threatened Don Wells up. I heard that Don went and met up with him. I heard Don gave him a Bible. I heard that supposedly he's supposed to rip the Bible, the pages, or I don't know. I don't believe that. I mean, what I know about rap, I mean, I haven't really overly talked to the guy. I've talked to him a little bit. I know him a little bit. But what I do know of him, and I think I'm a pretty good judge of character, but he don't strike me as the type that would tear pages out of a Bible. I don't believe that. I don't believe anything that Don and Candus Wells says. I don't believe anything that them evil bastards breathe at all. And, they're always out to destroy someone else's character when their own character is in the mother freaking toilet. They think that, by putting your mind on someone else and telling lies on that person and putting your mind on someone else, it's going to take your mind off of them, off of their dirty fucking deeds, their evilness that they've done. And they're very good at doing that because they're pieces of shit. But I understand that Rap has, packed up all of his stuff and he's moved on down the road with it and left Candus and this stuff in the dust. Now, the last time I talked to him, he was trying to get as much information as he could for Summer's sake. He did get some information. He shared that information, and I was very grateful that he did. So, Rap was for Summer, not Don and Candus. And, and I don't know what he's done in his life. I don't know why people dislike him. I don't know if any of it's true or not true. It's not for me to judge. God is the judge of all humans, not PG. I just know that, I was grateful for him working on behalf of Summer, a missing child needing to be found. And I have no beef with Rap whatsoever.
I'm just asking. I mean, and Candus, she could put all this stuff to rest. Take all this fighting, bickering, whatever, all this to rest if she just bring her daughter, tell where her daughter is.
It's Rap isn't a girl. There's Rap, and then there's this chick named Rapper. Rap is a man. He's a guy. And he's the one that was with Chillbilly, who was going back and forth up and down the road where Day Day lived. They were the ones, giving Day Day some of what, giving Day Day back some of what she was putting out. And so that's who he is. That's who Rap is. He's a guy. He's not a girl. The girl named Rapper, I don't know much about her. She's affiliated with Daisy's chat, and I don't know who she is. I don't know. I really know nothing about her. Don told White Boy that he's going to stand behind Candus. And of course he's going to stand behind Candus, because Candus, Don and Candus Wells are two peas in the same pot with Grandis on destroying a 5-year-old innocent little girl. Summer Moon Utah Wells, they're the number one suspects, and and that's the truth. That ain't my opinion, but it is my opinion that they did work together and destroyed that little girl. And I'm going to tell you, Don and Candus are going to be together until death do them apart. Neither one of them is going to cross the other one, because neither one of them want to end up in prison. They don't want to end up in prison. Rapper is a male. I thought it was a female. Is that the one that's in Day Day's chat, Jackie? I know Rap is a male. It's just R-A-P. And then they have one called Rapper, which is, in Day Day's chat. I believe she's in Day Day's. It's supposed to be a female. I don't know. I don't know, because I don't know them. Oh, I'm going to tell you, neither one of them did they, Jessica? Neither one of them did, honey. That is a good point right there. Can we say that they never went on TV to beg for Summer's return home safe? Never. I'm going to tell you something. You're so right. I agree. Yes. They didn't, Don or Candus did not. Donald went to church, and when he went up there, he didn't say, I'm glad that I am so grateful and thankful for the time to be able to come up here and speak to all of you that have congregated together, on behalf of my daughter today. And I would really like to ask, for any and all help I can get in finding my daughter. My wife and I, we have boxes and boxes of flyers in our vehicle. We have, great big signs that we would like to be, like to put beside on roadsides and anywhere we possibly can, to bring awareness to our child and wherever she may be. Maybe someone will see it and come forth for the reward. There is a reward at this time, a pretty, substantial reward fund. And, and if there's any help at all that you can give us, maybe, making that reward fund bigger. Or I understand there's a fund for billboards, which is really nice, and that would be great, if you could help on that. But if you can't help any other way but passing out these flyers and hanging them up, in your areas and distributing, stuff for us and putting out the word that we need to find this little girl, maybe come up and help search. Anything and everything you could do would be so appreciated. If you could just make food, bring it up there for the searchers, help pass it out for the searchers, that would be beautiful. Anything. Our child is missing right now. It's very hard for me to stand here today and, and keep my composure in order to do all of this, but I gotta hold it together for my child, because this is not the time to be breaking down. This is the time to hang strong, stand strong, and be strong for her and get her found. And I would so appreciate it if each and every last one of you could help in some way. But he didn't say that. He went up there and said, I hope God can forgive us.
And I am so sorry, TG, that I sent you them hand photo of them, body parts of Candus. But I mean, it just Candus and Dawn need to talk more about their daughter, not about what's surrounding them. And not lay the flyers that they have on the ground of the driveway or on the roof of the house.
Right?
You could put them so many different places, but why the roof and the driveway? And that's where we've seen them.
Right? I'm going to tell you something, Pam. Don and Candus did not hand out no flyers. They did not search for their daughter. They did not hand out no flyers. They did not want the billboards going up. They wanted the money. They didn't want the reward fund once they figured out that it wasn't going to convert back to them or their family.
You were going to make shirts and they didn't want that to happen?
Right.
You were going to do shirts.
They wanted nothing. And the reason they wanted nothing is because they knew what they did. They knew what they did. And that's my opinion. I'll keep it. I also, you cannot tell someone where Summer isn't unless you know where she is. You can't say she didn't wander off. Because unless you know what happened to her. If a child disappears, you don't know what the fuck happened. You have no idea what happened. You don't know if they wandered off. You don't know if they got took. You don't know a damn thing. All you can do is motherfucking hope for the best. Try to prepare your ass for the worst, and hang with it until it's figured out. And that's all you can do. And beg and plead for law enforcement to do all they can to find your child, to work as hard as you can to find the answers, to beg other people to help you find the answers. I mean, God have mercy. It takes a village to raise a child, but it takes a whole damn country to find one when it's missing. It takes everyone. And you cannot stand there and say, she's not here or she's not there when you fucking don't know. That's just the way it is. But Candus was able, and Dawn, able to say where she wasn't. And that right there immediately should have let law enforcement understand that these fuckers know exactly where she's at and what happened to her. But law enforcement down there, I don't know, something funny in the water because they don't seem to understand shit. Nobody controls me anymore. She was fine when I talked to her. She's talking about Dee Dee. She was fine when I talked to her. Bitch, she wasn't fine when you talked to her. Your ass sit there and held her fucking hand until she died. You're going to call Day Day a liar? Because I'm going to tell you, Day Day ain't a damn liar. I don't care much for Day Day, and I think Day Day is evil, but I will tell you this, Candace. Day Day ain't going to
He's not gonna lie about something like
Day Day
that.
is not going to fucking lie about you telling her that you held that woman's hand until she passed away and then went sit your and then poked her a few times to make sure she wasn't coming back before you went sit your ass on the sofa waiting for her man to come through the door for your ass. You wanted to go out into her living room and see what it was like to be her waiting for her husband to show up because you was already slopping yourself around with him and she had no idea. You didn't call 911. You didn't administer any type of CPR or anything to help her stay
No fire
alive.
department, no nothing.
Help her ride. You done nothing, absolutely nothing, but sit there and watch what I believe. What I believe. This is my opinion. In my opinion, you sit there and watched what your evil fucking ass did. That's my opinion. Do I think you're evil enough to do something horrible to this woman and then sit there and watch it kill her? Yes,
Yes.
yes, I do. I think you're that fucking evil. I think you are like mentally really freaking disturbed. That's my opinion.
Put a 1 in the chat if you think it's your opinion. And only opinions only. That's all it is our opinion.
And that's what I think. Yes, Dombey. Yes, I think she did. And I think that she was doing it for a while. I think that she was doing it for a while. I think that she did it and caused this woman to be in a hospital a couple of times before the initial big dose took place. That's what I think. Yeah.
There goes the ones. Too many red flags. She was there by herself and all that. Candus knows. Just like she did with her daughter. She didn't do nothing for her daughter either. And she still done nothing. And it's over 4 years. And she still ain't done nothing for her daughter.
Yeah. I think it was foul play. I really do. That's why you don't let people like that around you. That's why, that's why windows are locked, doors are bolted. That's why people, are communicating through these boxes instead of face to face, because you just can't trust people no more. It's not the world. It's not the world that humans once knew. This is not the world where, uh, where you open the doors up in the morning and the kids run out and they play. They go out and play all day with the other kids, and you wash the laundry, and if it's nice weather, you hang the blankets out on the line and you talk to the neighbors, and and people just come and go all day long, right? People just taking a stroll, come up and knock and sit for a while and talk, and it's not like that anymore. It's not like that anymore. This is a world where you keep your doors shut, your windows locked, your life personal, and you don't bother nobody, and you don't want nobody bothering you, because you can't trust anyone. And if you think you can, you find out real quick that you can't. You find out
Exactly.
real quick that that, like, most people, can't be trusted. They can't be trusted. People collect information to use against you. They collect information to hammer you with later. They collect information to go whispering around to other people. They're not your friend. They're not your uh, consolant. I mean, if you want to talk to somebody that ain't going to turn on you, then you better, one, find a damn good psychologist, because they're not allowed to go whisper your business to other people. Or you better find a real good church where you can get on your knees and talk to God, because He ain't going to go telling nobody your business either. And that's it. That's it.
And having a gallbladder removed, I had mine done when I was 17. Now they sometimes they just put a few holes in your stomach and they suck it out.
Damn. You be graphic with it, girlfriend. You be graphic.
I had to have the roadmap put on me.
I didn't even want to hear that. I didn't even want to hear that. I don't even want to know that.
Well, that's how gallbladders work.
Girl, I'm not up here to talk about anatomy. I'm up here to talk about, stuff that ain't gonna fuck up my
Sorry,
fragile little mind.
sorry
Like,
about your fragile little mind.
what the hell? You be sending me body parts. You be talking about how they take stuff out. It's like, whoa,
Well,
man.
why beat around the bush? The bush will be thin before I get to it.
Pam, I think you got a vendetta against my fragile little mind. Think you're working overtime to destroy it. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Well, look at them hands, PG.
But I think if I was going to remove somebody's, somebody's body part, I think that I would want to, make a really, clean incision, and in as small as possible incision, very clean incision, and remove it properly, and then and then uh put it back together, and pray for the best. you know that's my
That's
thing.
that's your, but that's not the real way it works. I mean,
I'm gonna
when I
tell
was
you, if I walk
17, I had to
if
have the
I
whole road put on my
if, if
put
I
on my
walk,
stomach. But
if I walked into a hospital, and and the doctor or the nurse said, don't worry, it's just a matter of, you know, making a hole, sucking it out, and that's it, I'm going to leave. That did not comfort me, baby. That did not comfort me. What the hell you be talking about? Make a hole, suck it out, and everything's going, fuck that. That did
that's what
not.
they do.
I mean, I don't care. I don't care if you're going to make a hole and suck it out. Don't tell me about it. I don't want to know. Right? I just want to wake up on the other side and everything be okay.
Well,
That didn't make me feel better.
I took care of my boyfriend's mother And they couldn't even say if she had calciphylaxis or a burn. And half the people probably don't know what calciphylaxis is. And that's a flesh-eating disease. It could be a bruise and turn into an open sore by the time it gets done being the bruise.
And usually it's usually that's a bed sore. Usually a bruise, a pressure is called a pressure bruise, turns into bed sore. It doesn't turn into flesh. And
No, this is, she had calcium. If you'll Google calciphylaxis,
right,
it's
but
a rare eating disease.
Now I'm not saying a bed sore can't turn into flesh, but the only way a bed sore is going to turn into flesh is if someone who has flesh is coming into contact with the bed sore. And you know what I'm saying is flesh is something that is basically spread like the flu. And like people go into the hospital for surgery and they end up with this with the flesh because you know things wasn't somebody you know it spread it by is contaminated instruments, contaminated bedding, you know, it spread it through contamination. That's how it spread it. So the only way that you know that a bruise is going to turn into flesh is if it turned into a bed sore which got contaminated by you know by somebody who had flesh. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, back to Candus and her messages. I ain't controlling no one. Well, who you controlling? You control everybody you come in contact with.
Right. Yeah, right, exactly. She's as bad as Day Day for trying to control people. Okay, I wasn't going to say this, but now I feel like I have to. I left because of abuse, period. Now you all know why I left. No, you left because you wanted to set this woman up in order to, you know, obtain her husband, which I think he's the next victim. That's my opinion. I think you
Oh, I
and
hope
Donnie,
not.
I think you and Donnie found a couple people who you felt you could prey on and destroy and take everything that they have. That's my opinion. Back roads, not much, just trying to stay in my lane.
What lane?
I'll tell you what lane, the motherfucking evil lane, the lane where people's going 90 miles an hour and she feels that she can, you know, bump people off of and not get busted, you know, and just keep going. That's the lane that bitch thinks she's
She
in.
could keep that juju over there in her own lane.
I'm going to tell you, Candus, you know, Candus is something very mentally disturbing about her. You know, she's an old hag, an old fucking hag trying to act like a teenager. She's no longer a teenager. Her mind is one age, her damn body's a different one, right? Right here, look at this. We all going to die, LOL, you know, like, you know, well, I bet your ass you don't want to go out like Dee Dee did, do you, Candus? I bet you don't want some other woman holding your damn hand. Well, she's holding your husband's hand, right? Yeah, I bet you wouldn't like somebody holding Donnie's hand while they're holding your hand, watching you leave.
If she left because of the abuse, then why'd she go back? For more?
Backrows has been lying about a lot of shit.
If she left because of the abuse, then why did she go back? For more?
Debbie, I got some sugar daddy. Look at this. I got some sugar daddy. LOL.
Yeah.
She's sitting there. This woman, Dee Dee, is deceased. This woman is gone.
Her
She's
friend.
gone. This poor woman who was healthy as a horse when she met Candus is now deceased. Candus is sitting there, you know, doing the fucking, naughty no with her husband, in my opinion. Selling all of her stuff, eating her fucking food, sleeping and sitting on her sofa and sleeping in her bed. Probably wearing her clothes if they fit her. I doubt if they would. But the point being is,
Wasn't that lady like 45?
This woman is gone 44. She's 44 years old.
Well, she's a few years older than Candus.
That woman had about 30 to 40 years left in her. 30 to 40 years left in her. And she's gone. But Summer had 70 or 80 years left in her. And she's gone, right? These motherfuckers don't care how many years you got left in you. They only care about what the fuck they got left and what they can obtain from you while they're living it.
Little Summer had her whole life ahead of her. She could have been anything. But Candus took that away from her.
She has the audacity to sit here and call Dee Dee's husband her sugar daddy. I have a sugar daddy.
Yeah.
She's calling this woman's man her sugar daddy. Now put
anybody that's got some money, you'll be her sugar daddy.
Now
come on, sugar daddy, let's go.
Right?
Back it up, sugar daddy, let's go.
Can I have the key? Can I have the keys, sugar daddy, to your wife's car since you don't need it any longer? Hey, sugar daddy, how about if we stick everything that your wife owned out on the front lawn and just let people take it away? Hey, sugar daddy, can you whip up a big pot of that good old lasagna so I can bring my big self in there and get a big cooker full and a giant spoon and just have all I want of it? Hey, sugar daddy, do you see this water line on my leg? Well, I'm going to let you know. I don't even like to get my feet wet because I ain't took a bath in 100 years. But let me tell you what, if my feet was to get wet, they better not touch that line right there because that's called my water line. And it better not be going up above that. Right?
And who sent you that picture, PG?
Well, I'm going to tell you what. That bitch is lucky that I ain't her sugar daddy, because if she told me, hey, sugar daddy, how about smacking me on the ass? You know what? Her face would be all red, right? Because I can't tell her fucking face from her ass, to be honest with you.
What happened to her two girlfriends she had, right?
As ugly as the other. That's my opinion, right?
What happened to her two girlfriends that she had also?
She didn't have no girlfriend. She was just
exactly. She lied about it like she lies about everything else.
She was saying no. That was a distraction. So nobody would take note what she was doing to Dee Dee, and doing with Dee Dee's husband, right? That's what
anybody walks down the road with her is as evil as she is.
Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you what.
She's in the store. I'm leaving.
Don Wells done warned people, right? Didn't he warn everybody? Listen, you guys, put a 1 in the chat if this is true. Don Wells warned everybody that it's really hard, but he did it. It's super hard, but he did it. He was able to lick past the smell. So, if Fred could lick past the smell, then more fucking power to him, right? Because if Don has to lick past it, then you know Fred did. That's just a fucking given right there. And he deserves anything he gets if he's sitting there trying to lick past, past a smell. That's just nasty. That's just nasty.
And even Don said a long time ago he wouldn't eat Candus's cooking unless it was store-bought.
You know what? I don't believe that because he was eating at the Y and that didn't bother him. Right?
Well, I wasn't worried about the Y.
I'm sure it was a hell of a lot nastier than anybody's cooking. I bet that was nastier than any cooking ever on the face of the earth. I don't care how
you talk about me messing up your fragile little mind.
So, there you go. That's just,
That's her metabolism.
I mean, that's like pure aspartame, right? That's pure aspartame right there.
That's one swamp water.
That's gross. But she's now talking about having, the sugar daddy of this woman who was perfectly fine till she met Candus. That's,
That was her downfall.
It's fire. They're stupid.
She's stupid. Because we all know her game. When she called and said, "Oh,
I'm glad
they come and arrested Dawn.
And
they're taking him to Boston."
Right?
Yeah. Lots more, Candus.
Zombie, it's okay. They ain't hurting me. They're just making their asses look stupid. No, Candus. The person who looks stupid is you. The person who looks stupid is you. When you told Day Day that you sit there, you held this woman's hand until she passed away. You poked her to make sure she wasn't, still in the world at all before you got up and went and sit on the sofa waiting for her husband to come home because you wanted to know what it felt like to meet and greet him instead of her. You are a sick human being. You're a sick human being. Who the fuck does that? Who the fuck gets with somebody that's perfectly healthy and destroys them that way so they can be with their husband? You tell me. Don't go around talking about any damn body because you know what? There's very few humans out there evil enough to do such dirtiness. And I'm going to tell you, there is a place really super hot waiting on their ass. And I'm sure that there's some special demons down there that'll let them know what it feels like to be done that way.
Lovely London said Mary is the one who said that Don told her that he could lick past the smell.
Yeah. You better turn them on. Ew. I don't know what she was talking about at this point, and I don't fucking want to know. I was asked not to talk about her, and yes, they are just jumping to conclusions. Oh, she's asked not. Ain't it funny how she can't discuss Summer's case? She can't discuss this woman's case. Ain't it funny how her and Hunter and them, they just some reason can't talk about none of these people who have been unlived while they are present?
And we're all jumping to conclusions.
Oh,
For
yeah.
what? We're watching you and Dawn.
I think we're jumping. I think we're jumping on the truth. And that's what fucking bothers them. That's what bothers them, Pam. Okay, got to run. See y'all later. She bows out. But she has the audacity to, to make Day Day look like a liar, right? She has the audacity to make Day Day look like a liar. I don't care a whole hell of a lot for Day Day, but I'm gonna tell you what, Day Day didn't lie.
He's not a liar.
Candus told her, she sat there and held that woman's hand until she was gone, and then poked her, nudged her to make sure she was, before going and sitting on that sofa. And I'm going to tell you, I hope Day Day's got the ass to hold her fucking ground on this one instead of backing down like a freaking coward to this monstrous human being that goes around thinking that she has some type of fucking entitlement to other people's things, and some type of entitlement to breathe her damn lies, and everyone should believe it.
Why ain't she allowed to talk about Summer? That's her daughter.
She is allowed to search for Summer. She's allowed to talk about Summer. She's allowed to do whatever the hell. This is a free country. This is called America. She can do whatever the hell she damn well pleases. She wants to use law enforcement. They want to use law enforcement the same way they use God. They want to hide behind the Bible when they're evil as hell, and don't even really keep God's commandments at all. And they want to hide behind law enforcement so that they don't have to face the truth about how evil their fucking asses are, and not wanting to do nothing for their daughter because they already know they already know what happened to her. They're not, what you don't understand is they're not going to waste their time. They're not going to waste their time doing anything for their daughter because they already know what they did. And in my opinion, they destroyed her. They had that boy destroy that little girl. They brought her back. They took her down to Fred Hill's house. They met up with people that went right over there to that cemetery and put her in a grave that was already dug for someone else. That grave was not looked into because law enforcement ain't that damn smart. I can't say I would have been either. I mean, that is something that probably is the last place you would ever look or think someone would do. So I can't blame them for messing it. But by God, since this came out, I do blame them for not going back and checking it. I blame them for that. Once this came out, I do blame them for not going back and checking into it. I do blame them for that. I don't blame them for not thinking about it, but I do blame them for not going back on it. Everybody makes mistakes. Very few want to correct them. Very few. It's one thing to make a mistake. It's another thing not to correct it. If you know you made a mistake, you need to correct it. Law enforcement needs to get their asses up there, and they need to correct the mistake they made. It takes a bigger man to correct his mistakes than to sit there and be a coward to admit them.
Them people ain't worth two things that all they care about is themselves.
Right?
And when Dawn said, "Oh, Summer was an outdoor person," when the boys come in, "Where's Summer? Go get her." No, get off your own ass, Dawn, and go get her yourself. Why'd your boys have to always go get her? You go get her.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Candus reminds me of a freaking swamp, a fucking swamp donkey. Right? That's what she reminds me of. It's a swamp donkey.
Leslie had a question and said, Leslie, feel free to ask again and tag PG. She can see it better than. Ask again, Leslie.
Well, Don has done thrown White Boy under the bus. He threw White Boy under the bus for Candus. So if he's throwing White Boy under the bus for Candus, then there's there is an underlying problem here, right? I mean, we better take heed. We better take heed to what's going on.
Fred, better watch yourself.
All right. It's supposed to be about summer. That's right, PG's little girl. Absolutely. Molly, are you still here? Trust me, Molly's somewhere. Molly is always in the bushes. Oh yeah. Can is not. I'm going to tell you, Donald Candus is not going to incriminate themselves. They, in my opinion, they think they have gotten away with what they did this summer, and they think they're going to get away with what has happened to this Dee Dee. And they probably feel they're going to get away with whatever they do to this Fred guy. I mean, that's just the way it is.
If they can make money, that's what they're going to do.
Um, I think Don Wells quit talking about summer too. Donald didn't ever talk about summer unless it was, unless it was something horrible. I mean, yeah, Don wants to talk about summer. He wants to talk about how, she was abused, used and abused and stuck in basements and all this evil stuff. He wants to talk about how his boss is pissed off that he sold a $5,000 tape of his boss doing evil stuff to Summer. Whenever Don talks about Summer, he always wants to talk some evil shit about this little girl as if he hates her. As if he hates her. He wants to talk about, how he don't believe she's going to be in heaven. He wants to talk about, maybe that's because he feels he's going to hell and he hopes she's there for him to continue to make her life a living hell. I don't know. He's a very sick, evil individual. But he wants to say, stuff like that she's not going to be in heaven. He wants to sit there and say all of this evil stuff about this poor little girl, this innocent baby that should have him in tears on his fucking knees because it was his own, his little 5-year-old innocent daughter. But this savage son of a bitch ain't on his knees crying because this was his precious little girl who his ass was protecting against anyone ever hurting. He's standing up with the smile on his damn face, a shit-eating fucking grin about how nobody's going to find her because he feels that they done such a damn good job of orchestrating everything, planning it up and carrying it out, that, they're going to get away with it. And he's patting himself on the back for it. And he's saying nothing but evil things. And I don't understand how people tolerate it. I don't know how humans tolerate it. I think that dude is I hate to say it, but I don't even think the devil is as bad as Don Wells. I don't think Satan could be as bad as Don and Candus. I think Satan's probably going to understand why Don and Candus is in hell. That's my opinion. Satan's probably going to say, I figured you'd be here. You're worse than me. Right? Just saying. That's my opinion. Hey, Carla, I appreciate that. I appreciate it. And Angel, I appreciate that. Member for 31 months. I got a new member for 30. Hey, PG's little girl. Hey, girl, I appreciate the support. God bless. God bless.
Carrie Hall said Can needs to be reported before Dee Dee is released from the corners. Didn't you say she was already released?
She's already, Dee Dee has already been cremated. She was cremated on the 11th. If you go look at her obituary.
No, I'm just saying it's in the chat.
Yeah, no, I'm telling them to go look at the obituary. She was cremated. She was cremated on the 11th. On the 11th, she was cremated, you guys. Of September. She died on the 3rd of September. She was cremated on the 11th of September.
And that was before anybody ever even heard she was gone, right? All that was done before anybody found out she was gone? Am I getting that?
Hold on. Leslie, no. Do you have to be a member to get comments read out? I never catch a live. I live in England, but I leave lots of comments. When can I have never missed a live since summer? In my opinion, Candus is responsible, in my opinion. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you, girlfriend. And no, you do not. You do not have to be a member to get your comments read. Absolutely not. You just have to be in here at the right time when I'm focusing, when I'm able to focus a lot on the chat, and instead of all the content that I'm pulling up. A lot of times I pull up a lot of content and I get busy with the content and I ain't able to, indulge. I read the chat, but I'm not able to indulge in it the way I would like to. And, sometimes I have more time to spend in the chat than other times. It depends on, what we got going on at the time. So whether I'm pulling up comments and reading them or not. She said, I understand. Thank you. Hey, God bless you, hon. God bless you.
So when did everybody actually find out? Wasn't it at the end of September?
Yeah, that's true, Carmen. That's true. I do. I do try my best to, to not leave anyone out. and so forth and so on, and having it's like a parent, right? You got one parent and 10, 15 kids, and right, and it could get rather it could get rather overwhelming at times. In here, you know, it's Mama PG and right now 371 children. Right? I got 371 children in here right now. So, take it easy. Take it easy on your mother, right? Take it easy. God rest me soul. after 300 after 370 some children, I think PG needs a break. Right? I think I do. I think I need a rest. Just imagine. I think you guys, God rest your souls too. Right? Hey, look at all the brothers and sisters you got. That's got to be overwhelming. I couldn't imagine having that many brothers and sisters, right? Hell, almost didn't survive with almost didn't survive with the ones I had. I didn't want no more. Right? I can only imagine.
Well,
Amen.
PG's little girls want me to say it again. The dollar store. Okay. But yeah, it's just Candus and Dawn is going to have to come to reality. Well, they're not going to. But it's just, they could end all of this, but they won't.
Oh yeah, you know what? Italian cookie. I am surprised too. I'm surprised too. Italian cookie. Absolutely, absolutely, girl. And you're right, PG. I'm gonna tell you, I love you guys. I love this. I love all of y'all here. My mods are awesome. All the supporters for summer is awesome. You know, and I thank each and every last one of you for being a voice for this little girl. I appreciate you being a constant voice, caring enough and loving enough to be a constant voice for this, for this baby and other missing children too. God bless you all. God bless each and every one of you. You know that take your time to truly, to truly care about these missing kids. That's amazing. That's amazing. And you are laying gifts in heaven. You might not know it, but you're laying up gifts up there where they won't tarnish. They won't evaporate. They won't get taken away. They're there and they're waiting on you. I don't know what those gifts are. It could be everything to build your home. You know, it could be all those things you wished for. What you really wished for and you didn't get because God's laying it up there for you where it won't ever tarnish, it won't ever leave. But I'm going to tell you, you got gifts. You got gifts there.
Hey, who's getting ready for Halloween?
Hey, girl, I don't serve two masters. I
Trick
serve
or
only
treat.
one. I don't get ready for no Halloween. I get ready for Christmas. I don't
Dude,
do
my
Halloween.
Halloween's out there all year long. It's my skulls.
I don't get into that. I can't.
I don't do a whole Halloween. Mine's just skulls everywhere you look.
Right.
In my house, I don't put them away. I just keep them out all year long and keep them out all year the next year.
I'm going to tell you, Don and Candus has got a long history. They got a long history of grooming, of being, in my opinion, of being predators and groomers of children, and anyone else that they can get in their clutches, whether it be children or adults, whoever they can get in their clutches. They want to groom so they can use and abuse and get as much out of them as possible. I'm going to tell you, Jose wouldn't have lasted a day. He wouldn't have lasted a day if Don and, if Candus and Grandis wouldn't have been wanting to lay around with him, for one. He wouldn't have lasted a day if he wasn't cleaning that yard, washing them dishes, cooking that food, getting a job where they thought now he's going to be bringing in money.
Yeah.
He was watching those kids. They were wanting to use and abuse that man. And let me go back up here. I just seen something.
It's your birthday, PG. It's your birthday, right?
Jean says it's your birthday, right, PG? Girlfriend. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. The Lord let her remember. Did you remember Halloween? Well, Halloween's supposed to be PG's birthday. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Oh, shoot.
Oh, PG, guess what I got ordered? Somebody's got it ordered for me.
Hey, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to be in here too. I'm going to be in here. I'm coming in. I'm coming in here trick or treat. I'm going to come in here trick or treat. I'm going to be holding out. My bag. I'm going to hold out my bag. Everybody needs to make sure
I wouldn't want a piece of candy from anybody on here. I'm afraid they'll put something with it.
Girl, they all got to bring PG birthday present. They all got to bring me birthday present. If Halloween, PG's birthday, I get birthday presents, right? They got to say happy birthday to me, give me birthday presents. Shoot, I'm looking forward to Halloween now.
Hell, PG, make you a wish list like Candus did and put a fake pregnancy belly on it.
Hell no, girl. I'm going to tell you
that's
something.
what she had on her wish list one time, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't need a fake
belly.
I don't need a fake one. I don't need a fake one, Pam.
I got some straw covers for the straws on my tumblers.
Oh, wow, it's Halloween on the 7th. Is it on the 7th? Oh wow! See, I didn't even know. I don't celebrate Halloween because you can't serve. Nobody can serve two masters. I only serve the Lord, and I don't mess with that. That witches night. I don't even mess with it. When little children have to go to a hospital and get their candy x-rayed in order to feel it's safe to eat, man, that's evil. I don't want nothing to do with it. That's just evil.
I don't either. I don't celebrate it.
I'm going to tell you what. You know what me and my kids do? We spend Halloween putting up the Christmas tree, decorating it, baking cookies, making hot chocolate, watching Christmas movies. We have nothing to do with Halloween whatsoever. I buy candy, all right. I buy all the candy that's already got the Christmas wrapping on it. And we order up pizza and We have nothing whatsoever to do with Halloween. We just don't do it.
I don't do Halloween either. And
Yeah,
somebody asked how my man was. He's doing better, but he still has to. I have to tell him to drink.
I'm gonna tell you, you know, I'm shocked because come Halloween, my house looks like Candy Cane Lane. Right? My house looks like Candy Cane Lane. You see a
There
place
you
that looks
go.
like Candy Cane Lane, if you knock on the door, you might find PG. Right? Anyway, um, I'd like to get through some more content tonight. I didn't really get through as much of it as I would have liked to, but that's okay. That's
I'm
okay. I think
sorry.
we covered. I think, hey, it's not your fault, Pam. That's mine. You know, sometimes we go in left field, and that's okay.
I'm
I
sorry.
I think we got the most important out tonight. We come in here, you know, we came in here to talk about, you know, this this poor old man who none of us knew about. You know, we didn't ever hear about this old man. We didn't ever know that Candus was a caretaker of this old man. And I'm going to tell you,
Couldn't take care of her kids, let alone an old man.
well, here's the thing, Pam. There's a lot of stuff that Daisy, that Day Day, and Jinkies, and these people, and White Boy, all of these people hanging around Don and Candace. There's a whole lot of stuff that they're keeping in a box of damn secrets. Why? Why are they keeping secrets for these evil people? Why are they not bringing this stuff to the table? Why are they not bringing it out here to help Summer's case? Why are they not bringing it out here to you know to show and call out how evil these two people are with this missing 5-year-old little girl?
Do
Why are
you
they not?
think?
Why are they
And
not doing righteous in the sight of God? Why are they not doing righteous in the sight of God? That's what I want to know.
I want to ask the chat if you think that they dig deeper into Dee Dee's death and find that
Hey,
Candace.
listen, you guys, listen. PG, trick, not treat. Um, listen. She said PG, treat, not trick. Listen, I'm gonna get all the treats, and you all can give my old man all the tricks. All right. You can
When
have,
it comes out that Candace had something to do with it,
you know what? Like,
wouldn't that bring a big, healthy thing on Summer's case?
you know what? You know what somebody did, Pam? I tell you what somebody, like, I was, I was telling my husband, I said, um, you know, I was telling him about the pizza. Somebody said, you know, get me and him a pizza. So I did. I ordered one, and I told him, you know, that it was, you know, from one of Summer's army, from Summer's army, one of the people in her army said for me to order this pizza for me and you. So I did. And he was like, yeah, and I'm going to tell on you because I wanted a large one and you got me a medium. I'm like, what? Right? I told him, I said, you know what? I'm taking back the drinks that they told me to give you. I'm going to keep them for myself now.
Well, you should have ordered the large.
He go, yeah, right? Oh, shoot. I, I got him he's going to tell on me for getting him a medium instead of a large. I'm like, oh, no. I might have to get a prenuptial agreement, not a prenuptial agreement, but a freaking
Since in the seats, I order what I want.
I might need to get an annulment, not a prenup. I already got that. I need to get an annulment, right?
No, you just know, he likes it enlarged.
He cracks me up. Yeah, yeah. I don't. They would have to prove that. They would have to. They would have to prove, because now she's trying to say she wasn't there. She told Day Day she was, and now I think she's trying to make Day Day into a liar because, you know, because yeah, there may be some type of charges if if you could, but I don't know. I don't know if you're, you know, I, I'm not sure if you're, um, I'm not sure if they can hold you responsible for not, resuscitating someone, because that can be a two-edged sword, right? That could be a two-edged sword, because I'll tell you why. If you help someone, like they need resuscitated or they need something's going wrong, and you step in and you do it wrong, you could possibly be facing a lawsuit, you know? So that makes a lot of people back off. A lot of people back off. It's like damned if you do, damned if you don't, you know? And so I don't know. I don't know if they could hold you accountable or not. They may be able, they might not be able to do nothing about her not, offering any type of life support, as in stepping in with CPR, or trying to do something to save her. They may not be able to get her on that, but I think they could get her on not contacting the right authorities. You don't sit there and hold someone's hand when you need to be calling 911. And you could use her phone. You could run to a neighbor's. You could, I think you can be in trouble for not trying to seek help for the person. They might be able to hold you accountable for that. You could, you could possibly get in trouble for that. Because even, even 3, 4, 5-year-old children down 911 and say, I need somebody to come, mommy or daddy, ain't moving, something's wrong, could you please send someone? Their little kids call 911 to get help for their parents. And Candus ain't a little kid. She's a grown fucking adult that knows how to call 911. And she needed to be doing it, and she didn't. So she may be held accountable for that. And, that might be why she's saying she wasn't there now. Trying to backtrack on it. Yeah, man, I'm going to tell you what. That's a scary thought to have someone like her. And she was a caretaker of this old man. She couldn't get Dee Dee, she can't get Dee Dee no damn help. But they would hire her as a caretaker. She's not calling 911 for her daughter, 3-year-old daughter. She's not calling 911 for her 5-year-old daughter when she comes up missing. She's not dialing 911 for this woman. I mean, she's selling all of Summer's stuff after Summer went missing. And she's selling all this lady's stuff after this lady's passed away. What the fuck is up with her? She's got some kind of fucking weird pattern going on, right? She's got some kind of, something weird going on there. I'm going to look into that. I'm going to look into that, because that is fucking strange. And there's got to be, an answer for what she does.
And you would think Georgia would have its suspicions about that. Like, why didn't the other grown person over here call for help? And the first test that they've done, I've heard from another channel that it was inconclusive.
You know what, Bridget? I think you're right. I'm going to tell you something. It sounded to me like when she called her husband, it sounds to me like she was scared. When she called him to come home, like, I think that she didn't, I think she suspected, foul play. I think she was scared, you know, of feeling sick the way she felt sick, but I think she thought that she had time to, to get to a hospital. I don't think she thought that, that whatever, she was given was going to work that fast. I don't think I think she underestimated the snake that she had in her house. I think
Supposedly, she called the law
yeah,
or called her husband.
The bite that day, to be honest.
Supposedly, Dee Dee called her husband, said I had a headache.
Right.
I was going to take a shower and lay down.
No, she didn't. She called him and said, I need to go to the hospital. My head's hurting, but don't hurry. I'm going to take a bath and get ready to go. She thought she had time to clean up and go to the hospital. She didn't think whatever it was as fatal as it was. She didn't think that. That's what was going on there. Okay, Pam, I'm going to have to head out of here, honey.
All right.
I gotta give it up for the night. I've stayed in here.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah, longer than I should have.
God bless you all.
Yeah. I appreciate you coming up and hanging with me, Pam. You know, that's the thing. You shouldn't, if you're not feeling well, don't call your husband, don't call, your friend. If you ain't feeling well, call 911 or get in your car and try to make it to the hospital. Don't wait around on other people. Don't be making, call. It is vital that you call 911 and that's it. Call them and get out of there. But, hey, what's up, girl? Is that you,
Hello?
Australia?
It's me.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello. How you doing, girl? I wasn't sure it was you.
I'm good. How are you? I just wanted to come up and tell you, when you first opened your live, I was telling people in the chat about my move, and I said God has me a house in mind.
Oh,
I'm not
wow.
worried. And guess what just happened?
What?
I just got a house.
You just got a house?
Yeah.
Hey, God bless, girl. Absolutely. There you go.
That's not amazing how that works.
Hey,
Wow.
God is good. God is
I
good.
told you God had me a house.
Amen. Amen. That's what I'm talking about. Family that
It's
prays together stays together.
it's
Good things happen.
550 a week, but it's beautiful.
Oh, I bet. I bet. That
So
sounds
I'm going to
beautiful.
take it.
That absolutely sounds beautiful.
Oh, it's beautiful. I'll send you photos of it, PG.
Oh yeah, please do. I bet it's
Yeah.
amazing, but I'm so
It
happy for you, girl. I'm so happy
it's
for
four
you.
bedrooms. It's massive.
Oh wow.
So happy. It's made my day.
Amen.
And God is great. Don't
Yeah.
en-
And are you going to be buying it or just renting?
no, just renting. But I've got a wonderful landlord.
Oh, praise the Lord. And
She
and
if I have to move, she always lines me up a house. And it's
and
always a magnificent house.
oh, that is awesome. And I tell you, um, maybe you can start saving a little, and at some
I'm
point
going to.
get your own little place, and it's all yours.
Absolutely. But that's big big worry off my chest.
Absolutely. Oh God, I know. Girl, I know the feeling. I know the feeling.
I've been quite confident about it because I've got a lot of faith in God. When I'm confident about something, I know it's going to happen,
Right, right.
and I know that He's got my back.
Well, girlfriend, I tell you what, your good news is our good news. God bless.
Yeah.
I'm
Just want to
excited
let
for you.
everyone
I'm
know that
excited
God
for
is
you.
great. He does great things for people if you
Hey,
believe.
amen. Amen. I'm going to tell you something.
Puts tears in my eyes when I think about it sometimes,
God
the
is,
way He works.
he's awesome. He's awesome. And I'm going to tell you, he's always right on time. Right on time, girl. I'm going to
Isn't
tell you
He?
right now.
Oh,
I know how good God is. And I thank him for everything. And I thank him for blessing you. I tell you, you deserved a good home. And I am
I
so happy
thank
you
Him
got
for
one.
blessing me too.
Hey, I was worried for you,
My
when you told
children
me,
deserve it. My children deserve a
hey,
nice place to live too.
you deserve it too. You deserve it just as much. And, you know,
I had the worst dream last night. I had a nightmare. I I don't know how it come about, but Madeline was 6 years old, and we were in hospital at one point with Mum and my brother, and then we were at a service station, and she wanted to go to the toilet, so I took her to the toilet, and I told her to wait there. I was going to go and get the car, and I went and picked up the car, and I got lost in my dream, and I couldn't find my way back to her, and I woke up screaming. And as I woke up, she woke up, and she started walking out to go to the real toilet. And I went, "Thank God you're okay."
right?
I went, "Thank God for that. Thank God it's not real."
Mm, yeah. And I
Little
think,
girl,
I think
what a
that,
horrible mummy I.
I think that, I think that, that dream was, I think that dream was you were feeling a little lost, and, and,
Yeah, I have been
and you're
because of.
like your daughter is the one thing that you don't want to lose. And I think you were feeling, you know um
Oh, I tell you, if anyone ever heard her, I'd kill them.
right.
You'd have to,
Right.
you'd have to hold me back.
Well, with her being as old as she is right now, and you not having the authority you know that you would like to have to keep her safe. I think
I
is
know she
is
does. She
causing.
listens to me though. I brought her up well.
Yeah,
She knows.
I think
She knows.
that's what the dream was about, is you feeling like, um not having that authority. You're kind of that you might lose her. that you might lose her.
Yeah.
And you know, and I think that's what the dream was, you know, about. But you know, God sent her right to
I
the back
think
to show you,
I think I held on too tight to her.
it's all good, you know.
Anyway, she turned out beautiful.
Hey, she is beautiful. Maddie, oh my goodness, she is amazing. She's amazing.
She's got a beautiful name to match her soul.
She's beautiful, and she's kind and caring and loving, and I'm gonna tell you, you are so blessed. You're so blessed.
I am. Got two
Amen.
beautiful kids.
Okay.
And
Um,
anyway, I'm out of here.
yeah, my husband keeps holding up a note saying, "Are you done yet?"
Tell him tell him he has to share.
He right? He don't want to
Tell
share
him I
right
said it's PG time. It's share time.
now. He don't.
No,
He's not wanting to share. He's wanting me to hurry up and get off of here. So
send him my love.
I'm gonna head out.
All right. Good
Hey,
night, PG.
good
Good
night.
night, everyone.
Hey, God bless and much love. Keep the
Yeah,
first one
you
up for
too.
summer.
God bless.
Hey, keep the first one up for summer, you guys. This little girl did not deserve what happened to her. No more than Dee Dee deserved what happened to her as well. Nobody deserves what evil humans do. And I'm going to tell you, evil humans, they seek out innocent people. They prey on innocent people. And they hurt and destroy innocent people. It's wrong. There's nothing righteous about it. And I'm going to tell you, that's why, you know, the Bible tells us to be as wise as serpents, to know these evil people, and to be, you know, as humble and kind as a dove. We're supposed to, you know, we got to be harmless. We got to be harmless. They're not. They're not. And we've got to, you know, we got to understand who these people are and how to stay away from them. And I think law enforcement needs to get off their backside, and they need to do something upon this case, because too many people, I mean, people just don't drop like flies around a missing child's case unless something is seriously wrong. And I think that they need to investigate and get into this a little deeper and get these evil people where they belong, in prison. And I hope that gets accomplished at some point. But keep those prayers going up, because I'll tell you what, I know God can do what we can't. I trust in Him, and I know He can do what none of us can. So let us pray that He allows Summer's case to come to light, that He allows what happened to Dee Dee to come to light, that He does, you know, puts His hand in it all and gets something done with it. And keep your prayers going up for Sebastian, Michael, Jack and Lily, and little Emmanuel. Good night, everybody. God bless. Much love.